is your relationship with time? Are you wired and tired, stressed and overwhelmed, busy and going nowhere? Or just want to scale your business? Welcome to Take Back Time with your host, Penny Zenker. Penny focuses on books, strategies, tools, and tips to help you work smarter and approach your time more strategically. As a result, you can have more energy, focus, and get more done in less time. Be more efficient and effective. Get ready to take back time.
Hello, and welcome to Take Back Time. My name is Penny Zenker, and I'm your host. And I'm super excited today because you know that our focus is to help you save time, money, energy, and effort as it relates to your business, as it relates to every area of your life. And so particularly right now for entrepreneurs, I have Robert Evans with me. And Robert is a marketing guru. He's been in the marketing space for personal development for more than 20 years. And he's got this really cool new thing that he's doing for entrepreneurs. And what he really has is a publishing company that publishes apps and connects those apps to these trackable, shareable books. It's a really unique marketing opportunity in giving entrepreneurs access to having your own app and your own sort of shareable content that where everybody is today, which is on the app, for a fraction of the cost of developing your own app, which is super exciting because it puts it in people's hands that didn't normally have access to it. So, Robert, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Penny. I appreciate you inviting me to be here.
So, let's dig into it. I think, first of all, what inspired you to come up with this unique opportunity that connects this shareable, trackable book together with an app?
Oh, that's interesting. I kind of fell into the business just through my own research of wanting to reach more people and have higher engagement and make more money with my own business. I fell into the mobile app development world kind of accidentally, basically by discovering, number one, that mobile apps are by far the most effective platform that a business could leverage and use today as far as reaching more people and having a greater impact and monetizing our messages more effectively and quickly. And then by realizing that, and then I also got into the business because I realized how expensive it was to have an app built. And it was by me, designing an app that I wanted it to do all these different things and sending it out to get price quotes. And I got 5 price quotes back. 3 of them were over $100,000 for the app. And the lowest price was $74,000. Wow. I said, oh my God, no wonder our industry as authors, speakers, coaches, experts, entrepreneurs are not in the app space. Unless you're loaded and have a ton of money, it's impossible to develop an app that like I wanted. So I decided to,
right?
Exactly, that does the things. It's not a waste of money. It's not a template. It's actually a quality high-end app. So I started a company to solve this problem for our industry. And what we did is we invested over a year and a half of our time and a significant amount of money to build a platform, that same platform that I got $100,000 quotes on. And we now make it possible for small businesses and entrepreneurs to have their own mobile app on iPhone and Android app stores at a fraction of the cost. And there's very, very good reasons for businesses to move into the app space nowadays.
And that being said, like just to leverage off of that, because I think that people may not realize how much value it is to be able to be in the app space and be available on the phone, as opposed to, let's say, doing email marketing and sending their videos or their content strictly over email. What's the benefit to that, and why should people be doing the app as well? I'm not saying to replace one, but to have that as accessible. Why space?
Well, that's probably the thing that convinced me the most, because I've been very effective in email marketing for years. I built 2 email lists of over 100,000 each in 2 different businesses and made millions of dollars through email marketing over the years. But I've gotten disenchanted with that way of marketing because the numbers are so low as far as engagement is concerned. That's the thing I was comparing.
What are the types of numbers that when people are doing email?
Oh, here you go. This is where it gets exciting. So the equivalent of sending out an email in the app space is sending out a push notification.
Right.
So let's just look at those 2 worlds, sending out a push, sending out an email. So number one, you got to think about opt-in. First, you got to get people onto your list. Well, industry average in email marketing is 2%. In the app world, to get a person on your push list, it's average 70 to 80%. So 2 out of 100 over here, or 70 to 80 out of 100 over here.
Let me think about
wonder which one, right?
That's also because I'm sure everybody is like me, as I have a separate email just so that I can register for things and it go to that,
Exactly. People are smart. Yeah. Yeah. And then you can't do that on the push notifications.
Yeah.
When you download an app and you say yes to receiving notifications, number one, you're not saying yes to long, drawn out emails, which people are annoyed by. You're sending yes to quick call to actions. So you become a smarter marketer by learning how to get people to engage in your content. And that's the second part of it. Second part is, now that I have this email list or this push notification list, the key is when I send out an email or a push, how do I get them to click and engage in my content? Because that's ultimately what it's all about, is you send out something and then they click.
Absolutely.
In the email marketing world, number one, they have to open the email first. So that open rate is about 15% on average. And then the click is ridiculously low now. Out of those 15%, the numbers are more like 1 to 3% will actually click.
Yeah.
So 1 to 3 out of 100 people will actually click. Now go over to the push side of things. When you send out a push notification, you get a 90% open rate, which means they see the notification. And then the average, and we've seen this consistently throughout our business, is 40 to 60% will click. Right. That's ultimately what you want them to do. Click to see what you have to say, what you have to offer. So if I can get 40 people out of 100 as opposed to 3, the world of marketing changes dramatically for businesses at that point.
Absolutely. It's so clear to me. And that's why, I'm working with you and we're doing one of these apps together. But we're doing it together with one of these shareable, trackable books. So let's talk about how that works in combination. So tell us about the Trackable and how that works with the app.
Yeah, so Trackabooks, in our case, we help businesses publish these small little books like this one. Drew Berman, right? Penny, right? The Law of Collaboration, that's his book. And then, so that's one way of doing it, is a book that's written by an author. Physical books are still incredibly powerful and people still love them. And then we have these directories. Here's a physical Trackabook directory, which is what we're doing with you, Penny, is the Take Back Time directory. And what we figured out here, and this is based off of a business I started 18 years ago and built my first 100,000 person email list, is that we figured out a way to connect books to a mobile app and to also inspire people to get these books, to not keep them, but to pass them along. And in the process of them passing them along, they can, through the app, track where that book goes from one person to the next, to the next, the next, and see what people think of that book, what kind of impact that book has on people's lives. And it's all done through the book. So when we say it's a trackable, which is they download the app, they input an actual tracking number that is specific to that copy of that book into the app so that they could track it. And shareable, so that they share it and then everybody gets to experience the ripple impact or the mini movements that is created from each copy of these books going from one person to the next.
Distractions are the enemy of productivity. Go to distractionquiz.com and find out your distraction profile. Are you a time zombie or a hamster? Take this free distraction quiz today to rate your ability to focus on what keeps you from being a wizard. Go to distractionquiz.com.
When you first told me about this, the first thing that came to my mind was Flat Stanley, right? This is a thing that kids do in like kindergarten where they get this little character who's paper and laminated, and you send it to somebody like a cousin and they take Flat Stanley all over the place on vacation, and they take pictures of Flat Stanley while they're in the mountains, while they're, and so that's what struck me, is that people are interested in the travels of where this goes, that it started with me, but the 7 degrees of separation, where does it end up as it gets shared around the world? And I think you and I talked about this is, maybe a new term that's coming up is this crowd sharing, right? This is a crowd sharing concept where you give this small, powerful book, and there's a place inside the book for people to share their experiences and pass it on, so that it's not just the book that they're reading that they're sharing, right? It's also them sharing their experience. So for instance, in the Take Back Time best practices, we said that we were going to have people be able to share what best practices and things are working best for them so that they can share and pass that along. So it's not just the
exactly,
so to say, it's every person who touches it gets to share a piece of what works for them and pass it on.
Exactly. So, and then that's what's beautiful and so unique. This is the first time that we're doing it at this level. This is a idea that Penny came up with. Is that we got the book that has experts in it, and then they're sharing their ideas and tips on productivity. They're offering a promotional code so that you input into the app in order to get special offers. But we want the readers of the books to contribute their own ideas to the book and to the community that they build by passing the book along. So there are going to be blank pages in the book in which each individual reader can write down their own productivity idea. And then when they share it, the next person writes down their own productivity idea. And not only is it being captured in the book, but it's being captured in the app so that everybody through the flow of the book gets these fresh ideas from everyday people that are getting these books. So that's the crowd sharing part of it. It's not just the shareable aspect of it, but it's also everybody going, hey, I've got an idea too. This is what I do. And they write that idea down and then it builds. And then what we will do from in your app is we'll gather the best ideas and we'll be able to share them in future books and in future inside the app and that sort of thing.
And it goes down to also being able to allow people to rate them, right? So that we get the crowd sharing capabilities of people as they're putting things into practice and being able to put down, what's working for them and kind of rate them as well. So there's a whole plethora of these experts are able to also share in the app, right? They're able to share other resources. Tell us more about what else is available in the app after somebody tracks their book and gets access to the app.
Yeah. So if you're a productivity expert, this is where it becomes incredibly awesome for you from a marketing promotional standpoint. If you're one of the very limited number of experts that are in the book saying, well, this is who I am, this is what I do, here's my idea or my tip or my productivity message, and then here's my special offer, which, by the way, that special offer is a dynamic offer, meaning that it can change whenever that expert wants to change it. But in addition to being in the physical directory with the 2-page profile, you would also be inside of the Take Back Time app in the digital directory. And the digital directory is a way for the readers of the book who love what the experts are sharing to watch videos, to read more articles, to learn about these experts in other ways through the Take Back Time app. So it becomes, not only is there a possibility of reaching tens of thousands of people because of the amount of books that will be put in the circulation, and each time they're passed along, it's not one person reading one book, it's 5 people or 10 people reading one book. It's an exponential exposure to each of the experts that are in there. But they also get exposure inside of the app to the tens of thousands, if not ultimately hundreds of thousands of people that will download the app as a resource for being more productive in their life.
What if they don't get it? Like, people where this is an opportunity for them as a resource and a tool, whether it's a productivity expert or an expert in any other one of these books. Maybe they say, well, I have an ebook. So what's the difference? Why should I be part of this when I can just distribute my ebook? Like, what would you say?
Well, the directories are also become ebooks too. So the physical books are the things that people like to pass along. The reality is that we still live in a want to be touched world. They predicted that physical books would go away and ebooks would take over. The truth is that's not happening. It's actually going the opposite direction now. There was a dip, and now we're going back to people still wanting to hold books. There's a different experience from a person reading, getting an email to read an ebook than someone handing them a small little book like this that they can read in 20 minutes and then pass along and have that experience. One of the quotes that I saw that I think is really relevant here is that we're heading into a decade, what they call the experiential decade. What that means is that people are looking more for experiences than they are looking for products or quick access. They want to experience things. Experiencing, receiving a book, passing it along, and then watching where that book goes and how that you're a part of that ripple impact of that book and that messages or the messages in that book is an experience that people love. So yes, there's still the ebook
family, right? Is because people they want to see where their footprint is going, and that
exactly.
like they can't help it, right? Why are people looking into their whole history to find out where their family came from and all of that? Is there's a fascination about our footprint and where it's going and where it's been. So tell me, who's distributing these books? Like you say, hundreds of thousands of people are going to access it. Who's distributing these books?
Yeah, so we've got the app that is its own little world, and that's your app, the Take Back Time app, and so that will be on the iPhone and Android app stores. So for the obviously hundreds of millions of people are downloading apps every year, and the book becomes a conduit for people to download the app.
Back up for a second. So just for people who are listening, we don't go too fast. So we've got all the people who are just searching for productivity, for instance, for my book or whatever other book there is, but for the best practices of Take Back Time, they're going to search productivity, they're going to see our app, and they're going to come in the app. So the experts are going to have this app that they can show that they have. They can send people there, but they're also going to get people searching from the app store itself. And then, as you said, then there's the book aspect, right? And who's
there's a book that connects to the app. So the books will be distributed they'll be given out for free in different capacities. They'll be sold on Amazon. They'll be sold in bookstores through regular book distribution channels. They'll be sold through gift shops because these are kind of wonderful, like little gift type items all over the place. Our minimum goal with the Take Back Time directory is to publish and distribute 5,000 copies of the books all over the place. Now, because we know that 5,000 books is not just 5,000 people that are accessing that information or downloading the app. That's more like 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people because of the trackable, shareable nature of the book. That kind of exposure is valuable to an expert for people that are definitely interested in productivity.
To stop you right there, all the events that I do throughout the year, this is a great little giveaway, thing to leave behind. So I'm not just promoting me at this event, right? I'm promoting all 30 of those people who are in this book because every attendee is going to get one of these, right? That's where you talked about the free handouts.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'd be sold in the back, but really I would give them for free because I want to give people access to these productivity tips. And so that's just me. If all 30 people are distributing them, right, then you're seeing, 5,000 is a small number considering, the number of people that I see at events per year is significant, and add that times 30, right? You're really going to get a fire effect from that.
Exactly. And, you kind of look at it from a kind of an ROI perspective for an expert is if you're one of 30 experts in this book, the truth is if you have a great message in the book and someone is reading that and they go, God, I really like what Penny said here. Her idea or her approach to this way of productivity is really inspiring for me. And what makes us unique is we give people a way to now connect with Penny to go deeper. And that's what that code is. And that's what that listing in the app is. So not only can they download the app and watch videos of Penny, assuming Penny, you were one of the experts, you are the expert of the app, right? But let's say I'm one of the experts and they went and they want to watch my videos. But if they track my special offer code, which they will do because they really like what I had to say, I can literally get my money back from one client that, I'm offering them an opportunity. My offer would be something simple like maybe it's a video that invites them into or to learn more about XYZ program that I have. And then there's an invite for them to get on a consultation call with me. So if I get one person or 5 people over a period of time on a call with me, I know that I'll be able to convert them into one of my programs that will generate multi-thousands of dollars of income for me. So one client for me would be worth the very small investment to be an expert in this book. So imagine that, multiply that times tenfold.
It's a no-brainer because the access that you're going to get through something like this, if you think about it, if you have to invest in Facebook ads or other types of marketing, right, you could be investing thousands upon thousands of dollars and getting the same reach for just what you could be spending a couple of months.
And those are very short-term hits. A Facebook ad, it goes for this, and then it dissipates, and then it disappears. A physical book is out there reaching people. And so one book could go from one person, 6 months later to the next person. That next person could connect with one of the experts in there. It's all about there not being an end date to the possibilities here. Once you're in the book, you're in the book. When you're in the app, you're connected to the app.
You're in the app, you're in the book, and people are going to find you. They're going to resonate with you. So, there's events that they can be given out. What are some of the other types of ways to be able to send people to the app or to give them the book?
Well, you mean as far as getting them connected to an expert? Is that what you mean?
Well,
Or what is what the expert offers?
Leading question, actually. Like, I'm thinking in my head, I could use this. I'm on a ton of different podcasts. So this is a great giveaway of what I could do on a podcast to say, hey, go check out the Take Back Time best practices and download the app and get that special message from me. Or, here's the
Yes.
track you can download. So
Yes, I know exactly what you're saying now. Yeah. My thought is this. I mean, here's the reality is if you can have your own app like what Penny is doing, the Take Back Time, that's a phenomenal approach because just like what we were talking about before, having your own app gives you a lot more power to connect and engage with more people. But if you can't do your own app, then the next best thing is to be a part of an app like this directory and the Take Back Time app is all about. It's about providing not just the information that Penny has, which is brilliant information on being more productive in the new decade, but it's also here are some other great teachers and resources and experts sharing their ideas through the app too. So you become this kind of aggregate of awesome productivity experts and ideas and content for everybody to see. So if I was an expert and I wasn't going to invest into my own app, I would absolutely invest in being a part of the Take Back Time app because one, there's going to be a lot of traffic going to that app through the book and through the efforts and the marketing that Penny is doing. And I get to benefit from that. And two, this is a collaboration that really, really makes sense and really works. So, I mean, to not be in an app is the only not smart way to go. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's your own or to be a part of a smart app like this one is really something to think about.
Absolutely. I love it. I love the idea. I think it's unique. It's up and coming. I like the whole crowd sharing aspect of it because I do believe that collaborating together as experts and people collaborating together and sharing their expertise and the value that they got for something is, where everything is headed. So thanks for.
I agree.
Is there anything else you wanted to share with the audience before we sign off today?
No, I mean, my biggest thing is I think there's really two opportunities here that Penny is bringing to this space of, the experts in this field is number one is absolutely look at being a part of the Take Back Time directory, which is, not only being published in the physical book with the pages in there and the link to the app, but to also be a part of the Take Back Time digital directory inside the app and get benefits there. The other is connect with Penny and she'll introduce you to me about possibility of having your own app because we have provided this very high-end, very effective, multifaceted app technology. We've made it affordable for every single business out there. Every business can leverage this in the way that Penny is and other experts are. So, take action and be a part of this. Reach out to us, at least have a conversation with us because I think you'll find a way to really leverage this platform in a big way in this new year and new decade.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robert, for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you, Penny. Appreciate it.
And for all of you who are listening, right, that's what we're talking about is taking back time. So if you can take back time in your marketing efforts and save yourself some money and get your result faster, that's what we're all about. So that's why I brought Robert on here. Whether you're an expert in productivity, well, contact me. I'd love to have you in the, in the directory. And if you're an expert in anything, you need to be in the app space and get yourself to really take back time and work smarter in getting your contacts, in engaging the leads and being able to push them new content as it comes out and know that they're actually getting it and receiving it and being able to interact with it. And then also be able to give them special offers that are relevant to them. That's where this is going. And I know it's going to be a huge benefit to you. So if you're building up your expertise or you're already an expert, I definitely think that you should hook up and connect with Robert. I'll, connect with me and I'll put you guys in touch and we'll put lots of links in the show notes so that you can contact Robert or myself and get started for yourself. And it's really a very reasonable way to get to your marketplace. So that's it for this week. My name is Penny Zanker and this is Take Back Time. We'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening. Today's topic is another opportunity for you to put the knowledge you learned into practice. Tune in again next week for more strategies that will help you have more energy and focus to get more done in less time, so you can continue to take back time.